Hello everyone, and welcome to Day Job. I'm your host, Code Marvelous. Today we're going to be continuing with some more Geist testing. So let's find ourselves a game. Morning, James. Oh, James, I sent you a message on Patreon. I can't open the link for your list anymore. Please resend it. Make sure you have public viewing enabled, or just send me the text version of the list. Sure, I'll keep this. So, I think, oof. Alright. Can probably ditch that. We're tearing through the deck pretty quick. The thing that I like about Dorm Computer, and I'm just testing it out, is that it deals with Raven. Like, it just blanks Raven, largely. Weird that we haven't seen a fall guy. I mean, our opponent's gonna have a lot of money. That's just gonna be a thing we're gonna have to deal with. Pro tip, make sure does this actually work now? No, still no. Okay, so let's trash that. Let's use spy cam. Okay, so there's a Project Beal. Alrighty then. Morning, Alex. Morning, Tanuki. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pitch this peddler, and we're gonna pitch this car, and then right at the end of the turn, we're gonna use Forger, and then we're gonna use Fall Guy. I'm enjoying this. This is pretty fun. No, I'm not running Hunting Grounds. The new list is in the show notes. Now we're just gearing up for the legwork. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, that's a very strange card. It's basically a game of Netrunner Chicken. I mean, you can have 1 billion credits, I don't care. Yep. That's true. I can do that, yes. Right, so let's start by legworking. I want to see what these two cards are. I have to assume that's a virtual tour there. I think I'll probably make one more run on R&D, and then I'll do the first levy. Oh, whoops. Dorm computer turns off IP block. I mean, I have a billion, like literally like a billion tags. Rip. Okay, so let's do this. I gotta get some money. Which is fine. Yeah, things are weird right now. But we don't need much, we just need to cheat out a win. Well, I think it's curtains for us. I let us get tagged and I shouldn't have. Okay. Take it. Oh, we could have gotten the... We're getting there. Yeah, I mean, but there's no ability for me to trash anything at this point. I put us into scared land, like... Hey, Bill. Uh-oh. Rip. We scrapped out pretty hard there. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel too bad about that. I made a very big mistake, but we gotta... More NBN. I'll keep this. Yeah, sorry for the late stream. I'm not feeling very well, so I ended up staying home from work. And I ended up sleeping till like 9, which never happens. Usually I'm up by like 6 a.m. Let's actually get this down early. Yeah, well, I mean, yellow's always going to be good. They've got good things, especially with a lot of good tag avoidance being gone. But yeah, I mean, their biggest advantage was they got 3 free influence in every single deck, whereas everyone else was down 3 influence. Ooh, a car. So the neat thing about Dorm Computer versus a Breaking News deck is if our opponent is on Tracing Tag Ice, it just blanks it. We don't have to actually break any of it. So unless they're on Arabacha tech where something happens if we lose the traces. The nice thing about yellow is you're not getting forced to take a bunch of tags to make sure something isn't a breaking news. That was one of the most overpowered combos that yellow had access to, which was, if you don't check this, you could just lose, right? And that was a very problematic combo. Okay. Let's get this down. Let's check that remote with dorm computer. Hi, Pink Warrior. Oh my god, dorm computer doing work. No one's seen this card. No one has any idea what I'm doing. I want to money up just in case. So we'll drop one more of these, and then we'll pop that for money. Thomas with the suggestion of the dorm computer. Yeah, dorm computer. Place 4 counters. Start a run. Avoid all tags for the remainder of that run. And it's only a 1-of, but against yellow it's pretty damn good. Because I find myself, when I'm playing a lot of Geist, I can always break ice. What I can't always do is clear all of the tags after breaking the ice. Ooh, a sub boost. Interesting. Okay. So I'm willing to bet. Let's check R&D. There's our other tech trader and a Maxwell James. This time I'm going to be smart though, and I'm not going to put the tech traders on the off-campus apartment. That's a turn. If ever there was one. All right. We are ready to shred. I think it's probably legwork time in a minute here. Have I ever mentioned how much I love Geist? I hope that it's come up once or twice, because I really do enjoy him a great deal. Yeah, we don't actually have to break any of these. I mean, I'll spend $1. There we go. You're sitting on a throne of money. All right, keep it moving. And we still got Lister waiting in the wings. So we can bump up Amakua. I mean, okay. Let's run HQ. I haven't canned deck building derezzed. It's harder for me to find guests nowadays, and I'm very, very, very busy. That was one of the most difficult parts of doing the channel, was that part. I just couldn't. It was very difficult for me to schedule guests, is I guess the moral of the story. And I found that doing content that way, because so many of the people who are really active in the game are in time zones very far away, it was very difficult for me to not have my life be very dramatically altered by doing that segment, where I was frequently running around like a crazy person just trying to find guests, and, you know, driving, racing home from work, not hanging out with my daughter until after, you know, right before she goes to bed, because I've got to get on the computer at 5:45 to record with somebody who's in Germany, you know, stuff like that. I'll do it again, I just need guests. So we've gotten to full Geistness here, where we're just sitting on a throne of money. Hey, Ratsuko. Okay, so there's nothing there for us. Let's see if there's anything on the top of R&D. There isn't. Oh, good. Let's get that down. Let's get that down. And let's gain $1. Sure, you can have that. That's cute. Alright. Let us go into R&D. Let us see what bounty is upon us. Come on, agenda. All right. And we hard reset. So it's back in the deck for the levy. Though it's safe to say that we have all right. We have so much money. Let's get the spy camera out. Improved tracers. Sure. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to dorm computer into R&D. And we're gonna go ahead and go like this and go break. This is really good. Amakua with Lister. Tell your friends. And meanwhile, over here, we just have 22 credits sitting on a pile. This is what we in the biz colloquially refer to as a hard lock. Rutherford grid. I don't think it's time to legwork yet. We're just sitting on a throne of gold. Okay, so it's still not really valuable for us to go into HQ. Ooh, rover algorithm. Neat. All right. Let's get the Lister of Deans down. We can just kind of wait this out. These Listers. Lister Dean, man. Yeah, I think I'll check the archives next round. This is a very interesting yellow style glacier our opponent's playing. I like it. And for good measure, let's just take $28. Scope to 81 credits. Bam, 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 bam. I think this is worthy of a screen cap. Welcome, Alpha. Okay, so do we check this? I feel like we do. So let's check it. We are just sitting on a lot of money. We don't really need to levy yet, though, so I guess we won't. But we don't really have anything else to do, so I guess we'll just get money. This is nuts. I mean, we have complete remote camp. There's no way. What's legwork? Start getting stuff in the bin so it can be recycled. That's pretty good. Levy. Spy cam, spy cam. Alright. We're on the final pass through the deck. No dorm computers. So I'm probably gonna overwrite Amakua. Or no, I've got the Forger. You know, we haven't really had to use Maxwell James at all. I want to be able to use them twice, right? So I can get the money off of them. They're my economy source. I mean, I know I'm filthy rich, but that's the thought process. I'm actually hoping I can hit the legwork on here. So we can recur it. Now we're just waiting. I mean, we're not wasting clicks. We have complete board state control. Like, break. 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 I don't have 5 link because of net quarantine, but I'm just being pedantic, thorough, whatever you want to call it. Statistically speaking, we're going to win on one of the next pulls here. Oh, perfect. That makes my decision super easy. So there's their net quarantine that we need to win. We're going to trash Amakua by putting this down. And then we're just going to run into R&D. Good game. Now that was a crazy Geist game. So what do we think? What do we think some of the holes in this deck are? Let's talk about that. I mean, Kamainu is beaten by Shrike. That's one of the reasons I have Shrike in the deck. The Shrike is also specifically for Gagarin Tour Guide, so we can continue to just hammer centrals. I mean, we're pretty rich. We can trash assets. Yeah, we should probably think about getting, like, a random current into the deck. Realistically, we could probably lose the technical writers, because that money was very superfluous. Then probably get in Freedom Through Equality as an X2, since we're using spy cameras. Alright, let's find another game. And then that's probably going to be it, because I'm going to be picking up my daughter from preschool today, which I never get to do because I'm never home. I really appreciate everybody taking time out of your days to come hang out with me. I know I've been doing this stream pretty close to every day now. It's great to have everybody come hang out and all the new faces every morning. I really appreciate it. Ooh, Tenon. This is not a good opener. We're going to toss that back into the wild. We're going to mull. That's okay, I guess. It's not what I wanted. The other day we had 50 people watching Day Job, and that just makes me very happy. Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest negatives of Geist, and it's always going to be a big negative of Geist, is that if you don't get things in the right order, things get super duper weird. See if we can get in there. Yoink. Thank you. Yeah, it was my my Saturday evening stream. But the only time I've had close more than that was when I streamed Philly and DC regionals, and we had hovering around 100 people watching the channel. But that's different. That's a tournament. Let's run archives, get an Amakua counter, just because I don't want Trick-a-Light crap flying around. I can't wait for this person to be on hard-hitting news too. Everyone's on hard-hitting news. Not that I'm blaming them. It's a tremendous card right now, but it's just like every single card. It's like, oh, did you run without a lot of money? You lose. Yeah, it's tough. When I was thinking about doing the Day Job stuff, you know, I really wanted to try to schedule it around when I could try to catch as many people as possible, but it's really tough. it's tough to catch everybody. I wish I could do it at a time where I had more, but it's just really difficult. 6:30 a.m. is, I'm not missing any time with my family. I can get people in the east coast of the United States and everybody in Europe and England, but I lose the entire western half of the United States. If I wait until after my daughter goes to bed, I can get people on the east coast and in the western half of the United States, but I lose everybody in Europe and farther out and everybody in England, so it's tough. Okay, so there's another medical breakthrough. Do we go for it? Sure, why not? We're not here to not go for it, right? Well, we're not going for it. Alright, so out we go. That stinks. Yeah, I mean, that's why I started doing the Twitch streaming, video games as well. I'm going to be doing Netrunner still, and L5R, and a bunch of other things. If you want me to stream all the time, the more support I get, you know, eventually I'd like to segue to working only part-time and then doing streaming, but that's like a pipe dream that's going to take a long time for me to build. Wow, improved protein source. I really appreciate the audacity of what we're working with here. Our opponent is really broke, so I'm going to go into HQ. Not just to be able to get political operative down, but I think we could get that other medical breakthrough out of there. Actually, I'll take the brain trust. That's actually better for us. We can't really afford to be trashing. Okay, we got to get that car down. We're having like a race to the bottom here as far as money is concerned this game. Oh, thank God. Let's run archives. I don't want any shipment from Tenon bullshit. Then let's ditch the legwork for now. We can ditch the other car. We only need one lister in the immediate future. There's likely going to be maybe a Kamanu in this deck, so I'd like to keep Shrike for the late game. How many spy cams have we already used? 3. We can depend a little less on spy cam. I don't want to put Levy in the bin. Like, you get super badly burned in this game when you put Levy in the bin. Okay, so let's put that down. Let's put that down. Let's check archives, because we're still just building on Makua Bucks. Yeah. Alright, break it. Continue on with our lives. So, when people res ice against Geist like that, they are taxing me a breaker, But what they don't realize is by not rezzing ice when there's nothing to defend, you get rid of my acceleration. Because I need to be using trashables in order for my game state to continue moving forward. So when you do stuff like that just to try to make me burn a single use of one of my breakers, you're not really helping yourself. We can actually go through here now because we've got Amakua at 4 strength. So let's check HQ and see if we can get that medical breakthrough. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, my ultimate goal with all this stuff that I've been doing is to get to the point where we're doing tabletop RPGs, we're doing card games, we're doing video games, and we're just doing the same kind of janky, fun-focused content, but for all the different shit that I do. Which reminds me, pretty soon I'll actually be getting my L5R cores. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We don't really have anything to bust. Ah, there we go. Okay. Well, let's go into R&D. Let's list our Amakua. Let's break. Shipment from Tenon, so I'm glad we made that run. We can pitch that. We can pitch that. We're gonna need to do our first time levy here momentarily. So we can pitch that. No, because the Maxwell only works on remotes. Chrysium grid. All right. And we are off. Yeah, Maxwell James would be a exceptionally good card if you could use it on Centrals. I think it's very well balanced that way, that you can't do that. Let's see if it's worth going into R&D. It's not. This burns, but we need this successful run because we can't have Tenon trigger. We are now in like max overdraw stage. We need to hold on to Freedom through Equality. We need to hang on to Lister. We don't really need the Peddler. And we probably only need one of the... We don't need legwork. We can recur legwork. What a strangely tight game we're having. Oh, Christian Grid on Archives just to keep me from getting successful runs is not great for you. Alright, that's legwork. Yep, that's what we're doing right now. I like this a lot. All right. Let's get this down for good measure, and then let's just go into R&D and see what happens. Break. Neat. That's an interesting counter to spy cams. Trick a light. Nice. Well played. Good game. But yeah, I think this deck's got legs. I'm definitely gonna continue testing it. I think Sunny's also gonna be good. I feel like Shrike is gonna do a lot of work at Worlds because of Gagarin. Yeah, I mean, we could hypothetically get the source in here, but it would cost us our Shrike. Or our Wasteland. And the Wasteland's pretty dang good. but Shrike just deals with so many problems that we have. Because it deals with Kamainu, it deals with Tour Guide. Yeah, Source could definitely be good, though, for all the fast advanced garbage. Fairy? See, yeah, I mean, but that's only once. Like, I can only do that one time. That's pretty rough. Or once per levy. I don't want them to just be able to put a tour guide on R&D and just say, that's the end, right? I mean, I feel like it's got to be Wasteland that goes. It's kind of like icing. So, it's good, but it's not 100% necessary. But yeah. Yeah, that's the real trick is, you know, Fairy would not necessarily be a bad choice. But we're already at 47 slots. We could get rid of Forger. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dan. Welcome. I mean, you can be in, like, the 46 range or 47 range as Geist. I have to have this for Gagarin. Like, otherwise, like, there's no way a Shiv is handling Gagarin. So, we have to be prepared for that eventuality. So, Shrike fits into the existing game plan that we have. And it also, is just good against other things that vex us. Like, it's good against Kamainu, which when we're constantly drawing cards as we break, you know, them resing Kamainu as like the bottom or second to bottom piece in a remote can be very devastating if we don't have it, and we have to burn up all of our shivs to not take damage. And then we're overdrawing even more. So the dorm computer is something I added because I noticed that since I don't have access to New Angeles City Hall anymore, it's harder for me to run through like double Raven servers because I have to take the data Raven tags. And there's a bunch of ice that I don't want to deal with. Like, if you watched the breaking news game earlier, I would fire one of the counters of Dorm Computer and just run through all of their ice without breaking it. Because none of the tags mattered, and their ice only did things if I was tagged. So all the traces could fire, I didn't care, because I couldn't take any tags during the run. So it makes it so that when people are like, well, he can't run into here, because then he can't clear the tags, and then I'm gonna get him. I'm just like, Dorm Computer, go in. It's a one of that I'm testing as like a situational silver bullet. I'm not necessarily super beholden to it yet. I think Wasteland is icing. I think I want the source to slow people down. But then... Right, a Kelphisol, it's more so for if I have Amakua down, not having to take IP block tags, and not having to take Raven tags and then go into a Quantum Predictive model. No, this isn't a great source deck, because then I have to hold my Fall Guys to protect it. I don't know, maybe I just stick with the Wasteland and go for the pure power. I have been a big advocate of that card. I don't necessarily think that I need it. The one that I tested on Saturday had the deep data mining. It did not have off-campus apartments or the source. It had basically all of this except for the dorm computer, the off-campus apartments, and the source, and I had a deep data mining. Yeah, deep data mining isn't bad, and when I was doing my in-person testing yesterday, it definitely won me some games on these big digs, but it's also a spy cam deck, so I don't necessarily need it. Political Operative's been doing a ton of work. We can't cut that. Lister is incredible in Geist. Can't cut that. This is always the problem that you have with somebody like Geist, who has like 11 breakers that he wants to use. Because there's so many valuable cards that leverage his ability, you end up going over deck size every single time. Polop's really good for like Chrysium Grid. It's really good for things like Sandberg that completely lock me out. It's also really good for Victoria Jenkins in the lock deck. Dan, I thought about that. I have the freedom through equality to clear scarcity of resources. Oh, the other thing that Dorm Computer saves me from is KP Lin tags. I'm not really worried about Batty. If they Batty one of these, I've got 2 levies. I'll just get it back. And if we're against Scorpios, it's going to be gone anyway. Like, I don't know. This is the tough stuff. There's a lot going on in this list. So the other thing that we can do... So the other thing we could do is we could get rid of freedom through equality, as people are suggesting in chat. And we could do 2 interdiction, right? Yeah, that's why I have the Fall Guys. If I'm against an ID where I think there might be a best defense in play, I'm just going to always save a Fall Guy. Do I need 2 currents? Or am I tearing through my deck fast enough that I can get away with 1? That's the real question. Or do I go down to 1 interdiction but then go up to 2 same old things, since same old things is something that can hit on a street peddler and I don't get pissed off. Decisions, decisions. I also originally had Caldera in this list since I'm super rich, but I couldn't really warrant. This is the fun stuff, Calphasil. This is the discussion. Sports Hopper helps me set up. Like, it's one of the key cards for the first pass through the deck, Ratsuka. That might not be readily apparent if you haven't played Geist a lot, but, like, drawing 4 cards, like, you've got to get to your tech traders as quickly as possible. I really don't like the source because our fall guys are already somewhat committed to off-campus apartments, but it does give us a ton of legs against fast advanced decks. What do people think? The source or Wasteland? I like Amakua a lot with Dean Lister in this deck. Thanks, Dan. We're not putting Amkuta in this deck. Gummy Box is also 2, I believe. That's true. Yeah, Film Critic isn't available unless I just want to do a one-pass Geist deck. Yeah, that's not bad. You do. Diceborn. I do need 3 of each breaker. There's a lot going on in this deck, but I like it. I think I'll sleeve up this and take it to my meetup tonight. Oh, Tapworm. I don't think we have room for Tapworm because we don't have room for Sakon. That's the card I'm looking for. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is definitely testable. The reason we have Shrike is to deal with Tour Guide. And to deal with Kumaino. Yeah, 2 of Geist's main enemies. Like, we don't want to just lose because there's a Tour Guide. And we don't want to just, like, be forced to tear through everything we have and then discard a bunch of cards anyway. Like, there's a nightmare scenario where, like, you've gone into a deep server and then there's a Kumaino res and you've already got, like, 7 cards from running. So then you have to use, like, 3 shivs to deal with it. So then you draw even more cards. So now you're ending your turn with, like, 10 or 11 cards. So now you have to discard 6 tools at the end of a run because of that. Oh, you mean cutting shivs? I'd still like to have 3 shivs. 46 cards really isn't that bad. Yeah. Well, the idea being, especially on like second passes, I don't have to use Fall Guys for money usually. I'm gonna be rich enough without them. So then with like 2 Fall Guys in place, the source gets pretty damn good. Mr. Super Nell, I don't really like Sneak Door in Geist. It's very memory heavy, and I find myself not installing it. 1 Apocalypse. Ugh. Brutal. But yeah. I gotta get going, because in a few minutes here, I'm gonna have to go pick up my daughter from preschool. But thank you, everybody, as always, for taking time out of your day to come hang out and play Netrunner. I'm going to be continuing to stream a lot of my different deck experimentation and practice leading up to Worlds. We're going to be doing a lot of lower table streaming at Worlds. If you like what we're doing, please take a look at the links in the show notes below and consider supporting the channel. And until I see you all again, always be running.